Although the Trump administration pretends they weren't going to do this little dinner meeting where they figure out how to finally get this cover up of the Epstein thing on track. There's a reason they need to do that, is because people are not buying it. Even Republicans, not enough Republicans, but even Republicans aren't buying it. So Americans are far more likely to disprove than approve of Trump's handling of the investigation right now. Only 20% of the American public approves of it. 37% of Republicans, though, and if you're one of those Republicans, like, God damn, you got no principles, man. Or you're just asleep, or you only get your news from Fox News, where they talked. I think they used last week. They used Sydney Sweeney's name on Fox News 100 times more than Jeffrey Epstein's. Do you know that? There was a Media Matters analysis. And maybe that's why you think that he's doing a bang up job in this transparent cover up. But even for them, their approval of it has fallen over time. And so at the beginning of this, the Republican approval versus disapproval was +20. That's dropped to just +7. So he's losing them to some extent. US citizens in general are down to -40 on approval. Democrats -80. And so he's losing everyone over time because there's more questions and no new answers. Why are you putting Ghislaine Maxwell in a minimum security prison? Why did you send your personal lawyer to talk to her rather than an actual prosecutor? Why have we not seen that tape that we now find out didn't need to have a minute cut out of it? You guys just chose to have a minute cut out of it. Why haven't you released the documents? Why is Donald Trump's name in there 1,000 times? Why did you dispatch 1,000 FBI agents to redact it? These are all really compelling questions, and we don't have any more answers to any of them than we did a month ago. And now, by the way, even some of the more extreme versions of concern over how this is being handled have gotten more extreme. So the percentage of Americans that think that Donald Trump died by murder rather than suicide is now at 50%. Even 51% of Republicans believe that he was murdered, okay? And so you might think that Joe Biden had him murdered or whatever, but even if you think that, which is ridiculous, but even if you think that, why is Donald Trump covering up for that murder? Very suspicious. And so they have tried so many different distractions to get people off their back over this thing. And one of the most obvious has been Tulsi Gabbard and her Obama Russia coup thing or whatever. And Donald Trump has pretended from the very beginning that that's just her doing her job. She's just pursuing whatever leads make sense. Turns out that was a lie, because Donald Trump personally gave the green light for Gabbard to take these highly classified documents and then reveal them very minimally redacted, even though the intelligence apparatus was saying, no, you can't release those. You're gonna burn our sources. Trump apparently cared way more about a really bad fumbling possible distraction from the Epstein thing than he did about America's intelligence capability. And so Gabbard, with Trump's blessing, overrode attempts by the CIA and other intelligence agencies to keep that material classified. Trump said, nope, put it out there. The document in question contains numerous references to CIA human sources reporting on plans invoked at the time by Vladimir Putin. Such sources are meant to be highly guarded by the agency, but Donald Trump doesn't care about American national security. He doesn't care about our intelligence agencies. He cares about himself. And so damn the sources, put it out or whatever. And it wasn't even a good distraction. It hasn't gotten anybody off the story. And so what a pointless waste of time this entire Tulsi Gabbard thing has been. What do you think, Yaz?
Yeah, speaking real quick about the principles on the right, this issue was something that they built their entire personality off of, the MAGA movement. And from that, the QAnon movement sprung from this one very specific issue. Now, the portion of them that doesn't yet disapprove of the Trump administration's overall handling of these files acts like it's just a really inconvenient headline, that it's just getting in the way of Trump doing what he came here to do. Never mind the fact that a big part of what he came here to do, what he campaigned on, what he promised his voters, was that he was going to release the Epstein files. Now, they've released some redacted files, and they said they weren't going to release anymore. Now they have some audio tapes, but they're currently redacting those before they release them. So they really are just they're doing everything but doing the one thing that they could do. And people are, understandably asking questions as to why don't they just do the thing? It'd be so much easier if they just did the thing that we're asking them to do. So.
100%. By the way, apparently I had a misstatement, and I think I said rather than Epstein being killed, that Trump had been. I apologize for mixing those two up. They are not the same person. It's easy to get them mixed up because they were best friends for decades, and they had very similar personal lives and social circles and all that. And they're both in the Epstein files a whole bunch, but that does not make them the exact same person. At worst, accomplices to each other's crimes.